Okay, let's go through the top 5 mistakes that we see restaurant groups make when they're doing their own financial management before they hire KitchenSync. I'm Alex Recoppi. I'm the CEO of KitchenSync. For the last 10 years, I've been working with restaurant groups, typically from 3 to 30 locations, helping them professionalize their financial reporting and back office. What I've found in the last 10 years is that most restaurant groups are started by passionate entrepreneurs, whether they're chefs, whether they're former front of the house folks that jump into the restaurant business because they love it. Maybe they love people, maybe they love food. And a lot of times they're not coming from backgrounds where they've got a lot of, financial wherewithal. They're not bookkeepers themselves. So managing their cash flow, that's one of the biggest challenges that most of these folks face. KitchenSync was created to solve for that, right? To partner with these creative entrepreneurs who are super passionate about what they're doing, to fill that need and give them the guidance that they need to, achieve the things that they want to achieve financially while doing what they love. And that starts with good financial reporting. And before we even get to the financial reporting, we need to help clients figure out, what is it that you're trying to achieve? What does success look like? Top 5 financial reporting mistakes that we see restaurant operators make. Number 1, this is the biggest one, not having a budget. Without starting with a budget, you don't even know if the business is going to work. If you do everything right, where you're going to end up, you need a budget. You need to set that North Star. You got to know what does good look like. You need to contextualize your financials against something. You got to be able to understand if you're close to where you want to be, if you're far from where you want to be, and where those points where you need to adjust. So starting with a budget, always number 1. Number 2, no incentives. A lot of restaurants have no incentives for their managers. So nobody's looking at the financials. Nobody cares, right? You have no motivation to do better. There's no accountability. Nobody's putting effort into making sure that the books are right because it doesn't affect them, right? So then you don't trust the books. Good bookkeeping requires everybody to be involved, to give information, whether that's sending invoices, taking your inventory, watching your waste, counting your waste. That all goes into the bookkeeping process. And if your team doesn't care because they have no incentive, they're never going to do it. Next, no weekly P&L. Revenue cycle in a restaurant is a weekly revenue cycle, right? Mondays look like Mondays. Saturdays look like Saturdays. A month doesn't really matter in the context of a restaurant. So if your reporting is set to the month, you're not really matching up with the cycle of how you need to analyze the business. So ensuring that you have a weekly P&L is probably one of the most important things that you can do to really be able to track progress over time and say, yes, we're getting better. No, we're getting worse. Your deliveries are usually coming in on the same days. Again, your revenue is always going to be aligned. Your schedule is a weekly schedule. Keeping your reporting on that same grain is one of the top 3 things that you need to do to be able to manage your business. Number 4, when you have no forum for discussion, right? So you present these financials, you create them, like who's looking at them? When are you going to look at them? When are you going to talk about them? Just having financials to say you have financials, that doesn't do it, right? You need to have meetings. Typically, good restaurant groups are having their meetings on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, looking at the past week. So in order to enable, your financials to be useful in those meetings, you got to have a really quick reporting cycle. You got to be ready. You've got to have accurate financials ready to go on Tuesday. So you can sit there and have that meeting, go through all the details, engage everybody. You've got to create that forum for discussion. And that starts with having transparency in the business. So a lot of restaurant owners, they don't want anyone to see their numbers. They don't want people to know how much they're making or how much they're losing. There's no way to control those numbers if you don't have your whole team engaged, knowing exactly where the dollars are going, where they're coming from, and everybody pulling in the same direction. So transparency and opening up that discussion with your team, critical part of this. Then lastly, number 5, no prioritization in your follow-up, right? In any restaurant situation, there's a million things that you could fix on any given day, right? Some of them matter, some of them don't matter. You've got to be able to prioritize what you're going to fix because you're not going to solve all those problems in a single day. If tomatoes went up 10 cents, that's something that you could address with your supplier. But if you're only buying a case of tomatoes a week, it doesn't really matter, especially if your labor cost is sitting at 50%, 55%. That's the problem that you need to solve. So having good financials and being able to see, how far off you are from budget on any given line item, being able to prioritize what that actually means in dollars and cents, and then focusing your follow-up on those key areas, that is a critical piece of utilizing your financials to make a big impact in your bottom line. So those are the top 5 things that that we see where restaurant groups can make the most improvement in their financial reporting practices. So to recap, it's not having a budget, it's not having incentives for your management team, it's not having a weekly P&L, it's not having a forum to discuss your P&Ls, and it's not prioritizing the follow-up from your discussions appropriately. Excited to share with you guys what we've got in store. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you next time.